Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSi DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm host Mike 31. Third year for the Chicago Street Race. I was skeptical at first about it, and then of course I was like so mad at NASCAR because they did something for the first time in their history, I think, with the Xfinity race with the rain, is that they canceled and called an official race and it wasn't to the official point yet. So full custody got the victory. It's a little bit upside down because of some people didn't think that they would call the race. They thought that they would resume it at some point, so they pitted and it really screwed up. But we kind of know some of who did well in it. And then last year was a pretty decent race, if I recall. And then we have Mexico, so we've got a little bit to look at here speculation video. Again, I won't have enough time with like work and everything today to do a video in between. It's just such a tight window. So I haven't even seen practice yet. This will probably come out right as practice is starting, but it does kind of help us. Let's look at the last couple of Chicago. We know who's decent at like road courses, usually translates to the street races. We just had Mexico, and let's go from there. So I kind of used a hybrid of Mexico and Chicago qualifying to rank the drivers as their projected start. Obviously, these aren't the official ones. When the official ones come, we'll have more data. But I think more important is the finishes. In the projections, I did not flatten them out, so you do have some negatives. I usually try to run them through an algorithm to compress them because you seldom see negatives. So you set like a floor of low of like maybe 10 and then like figure out like in the last couple of races here, like what some of the top scores are and set that at the top and then do the math for all of them in Excel and it will calculate like, projected points there. So, and I don't have like fastest laps or laps led there. There's not as many there. They're not as important. So I didn't bother like break that up now. So again, this is just a rough sketch. So start at the top here. Shane Van Gisbergen, head of the class here. He won the inaugural race in Cup. He won Mexico in Cup. Last year, he won an Xfinity. I think unless his car breaks down, or he had some mechanical issues in Cup last year that kind of held him back, if I recall, but obviously head and shoulders above like everybody else. So elite here. I don't really want to put him as a as a prime play, and I didn't. I only have like one prime play on the board here, which I might change a couple of them as we talk through this video. So. But I think he's going to be a prime play. But if he's on the pole, like the purple dominators are more like ice that I think can win this versus like a short track where you're looking for dominators and upside dominators. So the purple ones are the top three that I think can win this, and the orange are probably the next three that I think could win this. So with him, I think you definitely are probably going to play him in cash. Taylor Gray usually qualifies well. He qualified really well here in Mexico. He's been doing that through the season, but hasn't had the results. He's good on road courses. I have him finishing about eight. So I think you say him in cash. We'll just have to kind of watch and see how practice and qualifying goes. Austin Hill has been very solid. I had 11 last in Chicago last year, fifth, third in Mexico. I think there's a lot of upside here, and I definitely consider him as a prime play if he starts deeper in the field because I think he'll be able to get up there. Eckes is another one I can probably consider a prime play, if not like a sleeper to win this. I know we've got very little data. He hasn't raced here because he was in the Truck Series, but he didn't race in Mexico either and pulled off a fourth after qualifying fourth. My projection has him sixth here, so really like Eckes also 83. The price tag is phenomenal too, so probably really consider him as a prime because it really helps you get that getting some of these like 8K versus like some of the higher ones up there to be able to get Shane Van Gisbergen in and have a more balanced lineup than playing complete stars and scrubs. Zilich is another one we got to watch here because mildly disappointing. We thought he'd do a little bit better, but he wasn't too bad. when it all is said and done with in Mexico. So he's been good on road courses, and I think he definitely is probably my second, probably third favorite. I think Allgaier would be second here. Swalich, again, little sample size, but ran really well on road courses in ARCA, has done good here and in Xfinity so far. Sixth in Mexico qualifying, sixth place finish. My model has him seventh. Definitely another one to watch. Austin Green, he might get a prime tag here. 15th in Chicago, 7th in Mexico. If he can qualify, this Jordan Anderson team has been really good on road courses and super speedways. On everything else has been kind of mid, but I think that he's one here at 7,400 that could end up with a prime tag starting deeper in the field because Understands has been doing a ton of road course driving. And what's in my notes say? That's a Jed Burton note. Jeb Burton, have as a cash play. Last year he had a mechanical issue, so or he got a wreck early. So, but it's not normal for him to finish 37th. He had 19th the first year, eighth in Mexico. The rest of his road courses, I don't have him as a blue, but he has done well like these street type courses over like some of the more traditional road courses. My model has him finishing 14th, so I think he's one that you could probably consider in cash. Harrison Burton, struggled in Cup here, but he struggled in Cup overall. I think in Xfinity he's been better. Not the greatest road course driver. I have him as a cash play right now, just because I think he's better than a lot of drivers talent wise, but I don't know necessarily know on a road course if I can call him proficient yet. I went through all the ones that didn't have the blue tag and checked their averages, and their averages were 20s or low teens, nothing that really um, inspired confidence in me. So I think he's getting there. He might get to the blue label, which means proficient, not like elite necessarily. So you have to keep an eye on him. Algar, I think, is 97 might be hard to play with. Van Gisbergen, but easier to play than Zilich. So I'll have to keep an eye out on that. 34th in Mexico was an anomaly, got an accident. But if you look at Chicago, he's been so consistent here, third, second. My prediction has him finishing second to Van Gisbergen. Sammy Smith, I have the prime play on here. Has just been really good. Sixth, third, 10th, super consistent. 8K price tag. Really like that. Um, and especially if he starts qualifies a little bit deeper, which he has on some of these road courses, but has been able to make the passes and just like keep it clean and figure it out and get up there. Sheldon Creed, again, his he's gotten battles and people at road courses. He's aggressive. He's been better as like the next step from aggressive is reckless. And I feel that he's a top 10 car here because with these finishes like 11, 11, and 13th, some of the drivers are not in the field that finish ahead of him. So I think he can definitely sneak into the top 10. And if he doesn't qualify in the top 10, I think he's got some place differential there. So definitely one to look at also. Usually a GPP because he's volatile, but I think like I'm seeing consistency here, and that's what you want for cash, and I think he can do it. Thompson and Dye, I put cash on them because like Dye's definitely between some other series and stuff are good. Dean Thompson is I can't call him proficient yet, but looking at Mexico, they both had top 15 finishes, so I, I really don't have a ton of more data to look at. They haven't raced at Chicago here, so if they look like they're in the top 15 in practice and they don't look lost out there running into obstacles and stuff, I think they're playable in cash, and I like them at the price point also. The next two, I'm going to put the 10K because I'm really intrigued by them. I think they're like really risky GPPs. Preston Pardus, the first year, 12th at Chicago. Then he broke a transaxle in 38th, and he had another mechanical issue in Mexico. So running his own team here, I question if the car is going to make it. The street course isn't as grueling. It doesn't have like the hills and stuff that some of the other road courses do. Um, and like so I think he understands braking. He is really good at this. So I think he's a sleeper here. I think if people are box score watching and look at last year, look at Mexico, they're like, no way, this guy might not even make it into qualifying. But uh, I think that if you look at his like general qualifying at Chicago, it was in the teens. So like 15th was kind of the average. I took Mexico out of it. And I think that he is one that could be very disappointing, but he could be a sleeper if people write him off at 5,700. You have somebody that finished 12th in the first race, and he has finished in the top 15 in multiple other road courses. So keep your eye on him. Jack Perkins also hops into the Joe Gibbs car. Doesn't have, um, obviously, because this course is only set up in the streets of Chicago like once a year. But just looking at all the experience he's had, wasn't like a dominant winner in all these other series that he drove in road courses and street, but he's got lots of experience. I don't think Joe Gibbs would bring him in with all the other drivers that were out there and available to run in this race unless they thought that there was something here. So he's going to have a great pit crew. He's going to have a good car, good teammates, good data, raw talent. Again, my model has him 23rd, but really no like point data points to justify that ranking. So I think that he could be an interesting 10K one. Just see how he does in practice and qualifying. Alex Labay is another one that I like to put the prime tag on potentially. Usually a solid cash play here. Usually qualifies 15th to 20th. Usually finishes 15th to 20th. And at 6,900, that's a solid in the floor for cash play. Matt DiBenedetto's been like all over the place. My model has him at 31st, which I think is a little rough for him. Mexico to the 16th, Chicago 31st. He didn't really fare well in Cup in 23 here, if I recall. Not the best road course driver. So I think that GPP for me. Chris Wright, 17th in Mexico, which has some upside, but with a very limited data and just looking at other road course history, I just can't mark him as proficient yet. So going to be GPP. Like the price point, though, could turn into a cash play if we need some value. Jesse Love, cash play, like I really likes him. Like I had to dial it down because they had him like finishing up in the top five, which he's been good at road courses, but 19th in Chicago, 18th in Mexico. I just don't see him being like super aggressive, like highly proficient here. I don't see him like as Allmendinger or Shane Van Gisbergen or anything like up there. I think he's like those are the elite ones, and then there's like the tier where you have like the Eckes and the Hill and the Smith and the Allgaier and the Creed, and I think he's like the next level below. So 87, the price tag is mildly high for where I think he might end up. My model, like I agreed on like 13th. So I think he's a top 15 car with the potential for a top 10. So I have a cash tag on him right now because he's getting over the four X in if he because he doesn't really qualify well. So if he tip for him to get like anywhere from 5 to 7 place differential points of finishing position in the top 15 might be enough at 8,700 to pay it off. Quaffle, limited sample size, like people were like really high on him. Um on road course in Mexico because where he qualified, I think he was a prime play. I don't know if maybe for me, but only finished 19th, so he didn't do bad, but he was just kind of there. Like he held it. He advanced a little bit. So model has him as 17th. Jury's still out there. So again, watch practice and qualifying. He's another one that I'm kind of looking at there, like with Thompson and Dye to try to figure out what where they're going to be. Uh, where are we at now? Josh Williams. Josh Williams. He didn't make the optimal for Mexico, but I had a solid day there and finished seventh in Chicago. So a colleague has always been really good on road courses. I think like AJ Allmendinger had brought a lot of experience to help the drivers in that team understand the concepts and braking and things like that. And Josh Williams was really bad, and when he came to colleague, he progressed into somebody that I could call actually proficient here. And like Chicago, seventh finish last year. I don't think that was a fluke. He did run well that whole day. He's run well on some other road courses, so he's another one that could be a sleeper here. I'm as GPP for now, but could turn into a cash play. Anthony Alfredo ended up in the optimal for Mexico because he starts so deep in the field and then is finishing 23rd. If you take out the 32nd, like his average is about 25th. I don't feel he's proficient on road courses, but will he might be one at 6K that you just need to be like he's run enough of them that he should be able to get by. He wasn't optimal recently, so he might be considered in cash, but we'll have to see on that. On Azuita in this Cope family, I just I just feel attacking it breaking down. 22nd in Mexico. I look back and like he his average on like road courses just wasn't enough to be proficient. My model has him at 34th, so I don't know if we play a ton of him. I left him as GPP. I think the price tag's a little is more for like him on like oval tracks where he's been like solid, and I don't know if I really want to play him here. So he might even turn into a fade. We'll have to look. Sam Mayer should be a fade here. He's just way overpriced. I know he's proficient on road courses. I know this Haas team has been really good. When Cole Custer was in it, did really, really well. It won the first race in 23, but again, that was rain shortened, but he was up there most of the day. So like it wasn't like it was a complete fluke. Uh and other solid results, but we haven't seen it on road courses recently. 23 in Mexico, 28, like he just for 10K. Um, I can't do it. It's I think he's priced up way too high. The ownership, I think, is going to be like medium because people are going to look at the price tag and think it's a good play. But I think I'm out on Mayo this week. Belicki, 12th in Chicago, 24th in Mexico. He ran actually pretty well in the truck race on a road course last week. Auto has him as 18th, so I mean that's pretty solid here. It could turn into a prime play if it looks like he's going to have place differential. Car's okay with DGM. It's not like the worst, not like the best. I could probably prefer Alpha Prime, but at least it's not a Joey Gase car or a Green Light Racing. Um, so we'll have to see on him too. Kaz Grala, I think can be a solid cash play. Sam Hunt Racing, solid car, good program. I think should have enough owners points to get him in. Uh, that's why I think he's running the the 24. I think instead of the 26. So uh yeah, the cars has enough. He should be able to get in. Uh Even though he doesn't have a lot of driver's points. But 10th in Chicago in the first one again was kind of fluky there. But model has him as 16th. He's been solid. So keep your eye on him. I think he's a solid cash play at 77. Brandon Jones is going to be a fade. Just look at the numbers 30th, 36th, 25th. My model has him as 35th. Like, just road courses are not Brandon Jones things. We just don't play him. It's a trap. Connor Mozak hops into Green Light Racing. Does good in the truck series at road courses. Not enough to make him proficient here that I feel. SNS Green Light, I just kind of I'm okay with the LeBay, but I think they're going to throw like everything into the team. Like they're trying to field not three cars here because I have this wrong. This is a Joey Gase one. But the two cars in the field I, I I like the LeBay one. I think they're gonna put like all their eggs in that basket, but Mozak could be a sleeper here too. Like he's got some talent. My model has him at 19th. Again, we'll just have to see how practice is. Like he's projecting really well, but I just felt that it was kind of like without any of the other three races that have been used for comparison to use, it was kind of dangerous to throw the cash tag on him, even though this is like a preliminary video. So he's another one that I'm going to be watching closely. Perkins, so the Anderson program's been decent. He's been anywhere from 17th to 27th. So 27th is where has him. There might be some upside here. If he doesn't qualify well, 5,400. He's one that I might take a shot on if I need a punt down here, if I'm trying to, for some reason, get Zillich and Van Gisbergen in the same lineup. I don't hate that. Kyle Sieg, 18th, 28th, not bad. Like if you throw out the Mexico ones, he's been okay. Same thing with Ryan. Like Ryan, neither one of them are great road course drivers, but both of them have been doing it enough to not be, and maybe rather take a shot in their price range with ones that have had experience like driving at this track and in general over like some of the newer ones like Thompson and Dye and Wright and Waffle and Mozak, where you just have nothing. So I think that's where practice is really going to like separate the men from the boys. If you see a lot of them off the course and stuff, although like Suarez was off the course and I said don't. I was skeptical to play him in Mexico, and then he went out and won it. But I think that's a little bit a horse of a different color. Um, these younger inexperienced drivers, if you see them off the course and running into tire barriers and spinning out and stuff, then I don't think that they're going to be able to learn enough before the race to be able to be ready to go. So I kind of avoid them. Sanchez, kind of disappointing. I thought he'd do better. Like he ran really well in road courses in the truck series. So GPP here, the price might be a little bit stiff. He better have some good place differential, I think, for because I don't know if like finishing position is necessarily going to be there. So that's where I would play him in cash. Ellis, all over the place, but mostly in the 30s. I think the 17th was like a ceiling one. So again, we'll see where he qualifies. Graham, I'm putting as a fade. He's in a Joey Gase car here, and not in a Sam Hunt Toyota. Like last couple of years in the 30s, it just has been not a good experience here. Parker Retzloff is so up and down. And last year, the ninth was a Jordan Anderson car. He's not in that this year. Alpha Prime's okay, but it's not Jordan Anderson. So UPP to a fade, although he did end up in the optimal for Mexico, but he only finished like 35th. It's just because he was like so cheap and had a little bit of place differential was enough to be the right value play. And Ryan Sieg was in the optimal also for Mexico. It was Suarez, Eckes, Alfredo, Sieg, and Retzloff. So not that I'm saying like play that lineup. Oh, you can't play Suarez, but just switch Suarez out for Van Gisbergen. Um, Same car, but just to kind of give you an idea, like it was finishing position for like Suarez and Eckes and like Alfredo, Sieg, and Retzloff just had some decent days to be able to make that into the optimal lineup. So just wrapping up things here. Jeremy Clements, I took away his blue tag. He's just not been good on road courses recently. He was like a couple years ago, but I just haven't seen it. The results in the 30s, I just looked kind of lost in Mexico. Brendan Poole, if you throw Mexico out, he's been okay. 26th and 16th here, and I think he's got some upside. Perez, I know it's finished 26 in Mexico, but I don't know if he'll have enough drivers points to get in. Like there's only 38 cars going to race in this, I'm pretty sure. And Castro's the other one that I'm kind of skeptical might not make it in, but if he does, I'm going to make him a 100K driver only because with he was an open wheel guy and he's from Chicago. So he hometown favorite here. It's not like he can like run on this track like all the time and stuff because the track's not there. It's the streets of the city. They set it up once a year. So there's that factor. And I think he tried for a couple years to get into this race and hasn't been able to qualify. So I don't know if he will qualify again this year in a Joey Gase car. Like, I just don't think they have the tech, the speed, the endurance there. But if he does get in, again, just kind of like the hometown, I'll probably take the 10K tag off. I just want to put that to remind me to say, like, hey, there's a narrative here. If he gets into the race, it looked halfway decent in speed practice, but his qualifying's not as good because they're setting up for the race instead of for a hot lap or something. Then he might be someone to consider in the big GPP. So that's what I got for your favorite questions. Put them in chat below. Hit me with my ruler on 31 on Twitter/X. You get into the Discord. Like, go to FSiDFS.com, and there's a link on the right of the page to join the Discord. To join the Discord is free. There's a room called NASCAR Pool in there that is free. And if I don't get a video out to you, then I'll throw my sheet out there for you when it's done, or I'll answer questions when I'm done with the paid room, and giving them the sheet and the course and everything. And it's really cheap. We're only $5 a week. Um, and I think I even dropped the rest of the season pass down pretty cheap too, to come in and to get all the information, because sometimes it's impossible to get videos out in time, and there's a lot more work doing a speculation video than there is when we have the actual data. So I do a lot of research to try to figure out like angles and drivers that pop and things like that. So when we do get the actual data, it does give us a little bit of a head start, because if what happens in practice and qualifying aligns with what we have seen in previous results, then it's all systems go, and hopefully we make bank. So that's what we got there. So get in there. And also, if you get into FSI in the lobby, thank you for watching this far deep into the video still. We actually have a free promo code for the 4th of July weekend for free VIP access. So that code is in the Discord, also in the lobby. So once you join, you'll be able to see that. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. I'll have the cup video tonight with the cup screen. I don't know how the truck screen got on there last week. I apologize for that, but thank you for bearing with me and still watching it. So, good luck in your contest. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you next time.